political theater or progress?
Take your political theater to Texas.
This is not about political theater.
And it was more political theater than anything.
It's nothing more than pure political theater.
It's pure political theater.
Happy Tuesday, folks. Is it a happy Tuesday? I don't know. Welcome to Political Theater with Dr. T and Dr. H. I added him to the title this week because why not? I mean, we've accepted that Dr. Hall is a part of this show. In fact, let's just bring him to the stage.
Hey, no longer provisional.
No longer provisional, right? Just
a
few months before I end the show. Dr. Hall, I was thinking about maybe doing it like maybe once every other week, maybe once a month. I don't want to get rid of the show.
You don't want to lose the show?
Yeah,
you got a good thing going. But you got other obligations.
I do. And
you gotta invest. You don't want to get in trouble. I mean, you could fully embrace the monetization and
they haven't monetized me yet.
I'm just saying, but like fully embrace the attitude of monetization and make the show something that still challenges, is educational, but isn't necessarily as provocative and getting the people going. I know that would be hard for you.
That sounds boring.
I know that would be hard for you.
That would be so hard.
Yeah.
Dr. Hall, you saying I can't cuss?
I didn't say you can't cuss. I mean, you could probably cuss, but like, you know.
My students find me.
I mean, they're probably going to find you.
That's why I can't do the show.
So it isn't the students, it's the students' parents and the administration, and what happens when that moment happens.
Dr. Hall, we got a lot going on the docket today.
We do. We got a heavy docket, and I've already.
And I want to allow people to come in and give them some time before we get into the heavy stuff. I know we want to talk about Carmelo Anthony and the verdict in his trial. I know we want to talk about a bunch of things. The Republicans approving the $70 billion for ICE. We want to talk about Jackson versus Alito. Like, what is happening right now?
Voters' rights. What are we doing as a nation?
And then my deep dive, we need to talk about the Interparliamentary Conference on Family and Sovereignty, because this has actually been occupying my spirit and my brain and making it hard for me to sleep. And so I know a lot of people may not even know the words that I just said, but after today, you're going to know what I'm talking about and how problematic this is.
Yeah.
So why don't we, like I said, we give people a few minutes to come in. If you are just now coming in, please be sure to hit the like button. When you hit the like button, that does trigger the algorithm in YouTube. It does let people know that we are here. We are also live on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, please do the same thing. Hit that like button. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I say this every time. And then Dr. Hall, I go and look and I don't have any new subscriptions.
No.
And it really is a free thing. Like, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to my channel. But what it does, am I freezing?
You are freezing a little bit.
Oh, shit. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Sure. Close some tabs.
I got to close some tabs. That's the problem. You know what? I had the New York Post open. And I'm gonna close WhatsApp. So if you need to chat with me, Doc, just hit me on the private thing. Somebody said, will you still maintain your Professor Cinephile channel? I want to, yes. And I think I've been thinking a lot about that and possibly pouring a bit more into that. Like, I haven't done a film review on there in a minute. Well, I just talked about Miss Pat show, just because I've been kind of focused a little more on my writing about film. And so it's so easy for me to sit here and just talk about a film or whatever. But because I'm like kind of moving into this more academic space, I'm really like practicing my writing about film. So that's the main reason I haven't been doing that. But if you are on Patreon, you've been seeing my film reviews. So you can go to patreon.com/FeministaJones and subscribe, and you'll get my my film reviews. So those are still there. Oh, I appreciate you, Maggie. Yeah, I know I'm subscribed because YouTube sends me notifications. Right. And I've had people say that YouTube doesn't do the notifications. And I also know that sometimes it'll be 15 minutes after I go live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but welcome everybody. Dr. Hall, you put this Jackson versus Alito on here. I'm going to show this YouTube video.
Let's do it.
Let's just get into this. Hold on, let's
get into it.
Because you guys know, I stage manage everything myself.
Yes.
Dr. Hall does no help at all.
I helped with the docket today.
You did. Well,
so yes,
friends,
a little bit of help. Quarter help.
Put a 1 in the chat if you appreciate him finally helping with the docket.
I've helped with the docket before. You complained about me last time because I didn't put up videos. So I made sure to add a video or two this time.
You're right. All right, let's
I'm
go.
learning. I'm growing as a person.
You are at the last minute.
As a co-host. Only because you're getting rid of the show.
Right.
This is the News 4 Rundown.
Wait, what happened here?
And just like that, we have made it to the middle of the week. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the News 4 Rundown.
This is not it.
This is a case that boils down to redistricting. And when we talk about redistricting, of course, we've heard about those efforts in Virginia and Maryland, now in Florida. And what the Supreme Court ruled is that a congressional map from Louisiana that was drawn in 2024 was deemed unconstitutional, despite it being drawn to comply with the protections in the Voting Rights Act that look to protect both Black and minority voters.
In a 6-3 vote, the court's conservative majority found the state's second majority Black congressional district relied too heavily on race.
With the logic being that, as you said, you're using the exact same logic that the Voting Rights Act used to create equity in voting, to try to make it so that it's more difficult to create equity in voting.
Justin Hansford is a Howard University law professor and executive director of the Thurgood Marshall Civil Rights Center. He says there will be immediate implications following the ruling.
Right now, we have about 60 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. That some of those districts will likely be eliminated. There's no doubt that many of these districts are going to be changed, and they're going to be changed in a way that they claim is based on partisanship.
Law experts say the redrawn map was drawn to comply with the voting rights law to protect Black and minority voters.
It's more than just discouraging when you understand that the institutions that have ultimate power over how your vote gets to count say that your vote should not count. It can lead to either despair or enragement.
With the ruling, law experts say that it could open the door for legislators to redraw congressional maps in southern states along party lines, like what we've seen in Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, and now in Florida.
Okay, I'm going to switch to this. All right. So, Samuel Alito and Justice Jackson. I'm not going to respect him. And so they had an explosive exchange, right, between 3 conservative justices and liberal justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, holding her own as usual. Again, people be wanting Black women to be in these spaces
to save everybody.
But not just that, like, we are willing to throw Black women to the wolves, have them be subjected to abuse and violence just because they want representation. And I struggle with that. Like, I struggle with the celebrating of Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court, knowing that she was walking into a court that was not going to be, well, she's not going to be effective in most ways because she's on the minority side. And then she's got to sit with a Black man who sexually violated another Black woman. She's got to sit on a court with a rapist, Kavanaugh, right? Like, this is what we believe that Black women are built to do.
In order to be vanguards, they have to subject themselves to toxic environments where they're not going to be respected for all the hard work they put in, working twice as hard.
And what support are we offering her other than some social media posts?
Right.
How is her spirit?
You have to wonder what the toll is that it takes on a person to have to stand up for, at this point, like, kind of justice. Like, her dissent is saying that the court is acting in a biased way, and that it should be, if we're upholding the truths of this country, that we should be careful about the way we're allowing the pendulum to swing. And of course, the system of power is saying, yeah, but whatever.
And she's pointing out very clearly this thing that we all see, that all of this is to try to rig the election in November. Like,
why are we accelerating these judgments?
Why are we zipping through these things? Why are we prioritizing these things over all the other things that we could be doing? And it is specifically because Donald Trump put these people in office to guarantee this timeline.
Yeah.
And she's calling it out like, what are we doing?
What do we say we're doing?
What do we say we're doing? And it's really interesting to me that Black people, especially Black women, in these kinds of positions are become America's moral compass.
Yes, we hold America to account.
Right. Which is ironic, given that Black women are like at the bottom of the chain, right?
Yeah.
And the most disrespected, right? And all those things. Yet somehow Black women are the ones who hold the United States accountable for what it said it was supposed to be.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about this, you know, when you put this on here, I'm like, once again, here's a woman calling out the truth as we all see it.
Yes.
Well, those of us that can read. And we see this, right? And we see how this stuff is covered. And so that case, you know, what was Calais? Okay, let me pronounce. Philip Calais versus Louisiana, right? And this was the one where the guy won. Wait, which one was this? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, the one. This is the one with Louisiana. The one that we just talked about this. I thought we talked about this. Okay.
We did.
Yeah, and so kind of thinking about this, right? I actually wrote a whole thing on Patreon about this, and I wrote and I said racism is permanent, right? Looking at Derek Bell's theories about this, is critical race theories, interest convergence, things like that, and he said racism is permanent. It will adjust. It will adapt.
It will always adjust.
It will always adjust. This is you know, part of your area, right? When you do, you did your work on affirmative action, right? And so exactly. And so for those who don't know, there was a man who was wrongfully imprisoned for like 30 years, Dr. Hall, something like that.
Lost a good chunk of his life.
Got out of jail, ran for office, won the votes of the people, the confidence of the people, won this position, and they decided to get rid of the position so that this Black man who was duly elected by the people, for the people, like, okay,
for the people, by the people. It's what we say we are.
It's a government of the people, for the people, by the people, right?
Yeah.
He won.
Fair and square.
And they said, we're going to get rid of this, right?
Just eliminate the district.
That's an escalation, because I went to college with a man who became was elected mayor of his very small town in Alabama. And mine was like on the Black conservative side. I used to get on my goddamn nerves, but I respect it. But he learned real quick. Started talking some liberal nonsense because they were intimidating him, threatening him, standing in the way of him being able to do anything as mayor. And then I saw another case not long ago where like they would not let the man take the office. Like they kept delaying it and all these kinds of things, wouldn't let him in the door, etc. So now they got to the point where they just get rid of the office.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and next step is we're not going to let you niggas run for office. That's the next step, right? So when you're looking at Justice Jackson, Brown Jackson, you're looking at what she's saying is she's pointing out something very clear, that this is all related. This is all designed to ensure that this tyranny continues, this fabricated white supremacy of this nation continues by way of suppressing votes, denying votes, denying people's ability to run for office, denying them to the opportunity to assume office, all of those things.
Yeah.
And what does Alito say? He says it's insulting to say
what do we have to prove? He literally said we have nothing to prove.
We have nothing to prove.
We have nothing to stand on except for our word that we are doing what is right.
Yeah, and called her dissent trivial and baseless.
Yes. Framing a black woman as illegitimate.
Yeah. And she said to avoid appearance of partiality here, we could, as per usual, opt to stay on the sidelines and take no position. But today the court chooses the opposite. Not content to have decided the law, it now takes steps to influence its implementation. And that's one of the things that the conservatives of the Supreme Court and Thomas is big on this.
Yeah.
We should not be legislating from the bench. That's always their thing. We should not be legislating.
It's supposed to be.
The bench. That's what they're not supposed to be doing.
What they say they are.
That's what they say they are. But this court, this clown court, what is this? They're just like, no, actually, we do get to make the laws. We get to change laws.
Yes.
But I just want to remind everybody, if we go back to the handbook for conservative leadership, there is a section in there where they say that they believe that federal judges should intervene in cases where they don't believe that the outcome was appropriate. So that's where they want to move us.
Where we're standing. Yeah.
Right. They want to move us in that direction of the people can't make up their own minds. We can't trust the lawyers. We can't trust the local judges. We should be able to come in if we don't like a decision. Dr. Hall, what do we call that?
Corruption? What do we call it?
Take it a little bit further than that.
White supremacy?
Keep going. What's that F word? What's that F word? What's that F word?
Fucked up?
Well, okay, sure. That's 2 words, though. You're intelligent somebody. Fascism, goddammit.
Fascism. Oh, my bad. Sure. Did we start by saying this was fascism? It's definitely
when a handful of people gets to decide.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We, at least in the chat, they know. I don't know what's going on with you.
There we go.
Wake it up. All right.
Also, I just read that somebody said it in the chat, and I had to look it up. That was what got me distracted. Is Calais was a January 6th, so this whole case is being brought by someone who should be in jail from January 6th, and is now continuing to disrupt our democratic system because everything's off the rails. Everything's off the rails.
And given the fact that so many of them have been convicted of sexual assault of children since they were pardoned, that's a good chance.
Hey, he's done some stuff.
Right.
There's no proof that he stormed the Capitol, but he was there that day taking pictures.
You know he was. All right, Dr. Hall.
Moving on.
Let's lighten this up a little bit.
Let's lighten up a little bit.
I said Nixon 5.
You said Nixon 5.
I said Nixon 5. People were saying Nixon 4. I said Nixon 5. I'm just kind of pointing that out. Yeah. Here we go.
Hey, Katie.
What the hell just happened? Here we go.
And then America's Bad Luck Penny showed up.
They booed the hell out of him.
Got himself booed. And brought his stink of loserdom to the
I feel bad because the brother singing, okay, he shouldn't have been singing the national anthem anyway. I wish black people would stop agreeing to sing the national anthem in a country that
you want a platform in
country that hates you, right? Country, the song is talking about keeping you niggas enslaved, but that's okay. We're gonna keep it going.
Hey, but the rocket's red glare.
We're at war right now, and you're singing church runs about rockets and
rockets red glare. Hey, going off.
What are you niggas doing?
An anthem of war for the country.
The
world's leading warmonger. Why not?
Right. So he ends up having to deal with the boos because they panned to show Trump on the Jumbotron and people were upset about it. Now, why is he putting it? He never served. So why is his hand?
Why is he saluting? Because that's what he thinks they should do.
All right. Dr.
He ain't coming back because he got booed. He'll show you guys.
He went to sleep, Dr. Hall.
He did take a nappy nap. Took him a little nappy nap during the game. Hey, it was past his bedtime.
He was in the box and he took a nap.
Slow blinking. Slow blinking.
No, he wasn't even slow blinking. Your man was
Slumps.
Trump was like,
yeah, hey, you make an 80-year-old man watch the whole basketball game.
He looked like me sleeping through back rooms.
Backroom caught a stray.
What a terrible film that was.
Backroom caught a stray.
So he was knocked out, probably shitting on himself. See, this is why I can't do this show, and because
you just be saying what you be thinking. And,
I do.
You got a job to protect.
Because I know it's stinking there.
Job.
I know it's stinking there.
No, you just rub a little Vicks under your nose, and you can tolerate it probably.
No, I know it's stinking that.
Yeah,
box.
but also like he gets to at a whim. That's one of the things that's been an ongoing matter in this administration. At a whim, they get to sort of show up and disrupt a city that's already being challenged by the security risks. New York is going to burn itself down if they win. Mm-hmm. And so the president showing up with his entourage, shutting down watch parties because he needs to be there. He needs to insert himself into this thing. It's strange how this administration tries to push itself into these sort of big events but
I don't know. Is it the administration or is it him? Because
it's him. Oh no, I'm saying the administration because he represents the administration. But like Vivek did, not Vivek, but the FBI guy did it.
Cash Patel.
Right, Patel's done it.
CashApp. His name is CashApp. So
yeah.
You gotta call him CashApp.
Vice president's done it. Like it's a very much they're running a very be on TV administration, be at the center of these big events administration. When the nation is struggling, like, hey, go help figure out how to help people pay bills. What are you doing blowing money on basketball games when people ain't got grocery money and gas money?
But mind you, what's the name? Noam got fired for spending all that money on the jet. Well, that's what they say, for spending all that money on the jet and all her personal stuff. But they haven't fired Cash App.
Nope.
Okay.
Yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a revolving door administration. So.
All right. So real quick, the House Republicans approve another $70 billion for Trump's mass deportation campaign. This is from The Guardian. So
always finding the time.
Very narrowly passed
billion with a B.
With a B.
With a B.
Not million.
B. Schools need funding.
Mind you, they're spending like $1 billion a day on this war in Israel's war with Iran.
Our infrastructure is falling apart. We have a crumbling infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Bridges literally collapsing.
The data centers, they said, are going to use as much water as 1.3 billion people. Dr. Hall, that's 4 times as many Americans we have right now.
Mm-hmm. Going to destroy the air, burn through energy, shut down grids. But let's also make sure that we do not have immigrants in the country because that's where the money needs to go.
So now they're doing this, right? The $70 billion funding over the next 3 years.
$70 billion.
Right. They're saying over the next 3 years because they're assuming that they're going to win because they're going to rig the elections, right? And because people aren't going to vote. And people aren't going to vote. Let's just be honest, right?
Again, if they have things like the Voting Rights Act being gutted, like how are people going to have any faith that the voting works, that it matters if you vote?
Even people who've never heard of John Lewis or the John Lewis Voting Rights Act don't vote, Dr. Hall. Let's just be honest here. We just had a series of primary elections where most places barely got 20%. Barely 2 out of 10 people voted. So again, I'm not letting people off the hook for that because I'm one of those people, I don't believe in the system at all. But I am going to call you out if you're a person who claims to believe in this voting system and then you don't go and then you don't vote. And again, that's what's going to happen in the midterms.
It's likely.
People ain't going to vote. And so what does any of this actually matter, Dr. Hall? I mean, we were disenfranchised. Mail in your goddamn votes.
Yeah. Go down there. Go down to the polls.
Are there any states right now where you can't mail in votes, Dr. Hall?
As of right now, no, as far as I'm aware.
From somebody fact check us.
They're working on it, but they haven't.
I'm just saying, fact check me. But I believe you can mail in your votes in every state. Dr. Hall fact check me. But anyway, there's you can drop it off at the post office.
You can go down to your local polling places.
And they're open at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm just they can steal all the votes, right? Out of the mailbox, right?
Yeah.
But at least you did it.
Now, some places, apparently, according to the National Conference of State Legislatures, there are several states that require an excuse for absentee and mail voting.
Right.
But the majority of states, you can still mail in a vote.
And many states, don't most states have early voting?
Yeah.
It's not just one day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to wait for election day in many places.
To cast your vote.
To cast your vote.
But.
Dr. Ho, I want people to stop pissing me off. Like, I just, at some point, and you guys know this show, I'm always honest. I don't lean towards any of these because I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
We are living in a corrupt, imperialist, violent nation. So you're not going to get me to align with any of this. But I am going to discuss these kinds of things and yank the mask off. I watched the Los Angeles elections and I'm like, are y'all dumb? Like, that was embarrassing. New Jersey, are y'all dumb? Like, just what are we doing? But then people will complain about who is elected. Like Sherelle Parker is destroying Philadelphia, like harming it even more now, right? Philadelphia, for the first time in a long time, has a surplus in their budget. What is she spending the money on? $800 million more towards cops.
I mean,
and why? The woman, she didn't even get 200,000 votes in a city of 1.2 million people.
Jeez.
Exactly.
Also tells you how little you needed to make it across the finish line to get the job.
But better believe they in the streets complaining about all these schools about to be shut down. And I'm just the kind of person. Did you vote? Oh, you didn't? Oh, you don't believe in it? So go home.
Okay.
What are you out here complaining about?
Right. Why do you think you need those civic services? What do you think they're for?
What do you need the schools for if you ain't learned shit? 52% of the adult population is functioning.
You want to access those civic services, you got to participate in your civic duties.
Yeah, Dr. Hall, what is this screw worm thing? Oh no, we're not doing that. No, I don't watch gross things. No, we're not talking. No,
you don't have to watch the worm. I'm just saying.
What is it?
Briefly, I could talk through it
quickly because I hate bugs and they make me skeevy. So
you don't have to see a bug.
This is something that he decided.
Yes. So Doge cut a lot of programs, including now it's all on me.
Yeah.
Doge cut a lot of programs, and one of the programs was screwworm prevention, which is a parasitic fly that attacks any animal, including humans. It is a flesh-eating animal that will bury into wounds, even a wound the size of a mosquito bite. And so it's terrible for cattle. And because the United States has reduced its prevention efforts, because essentially when Doge and Elon came through, they tried to get rid of programs that would waste money. But most scientists and biologists know that, it's not wasting money to spend money on prevention because it's much harder once an outbreak happens. So now in Texas, they have 5 different cases of screwworm after years of solving the screwworm problem. And I was fascinated because they solved the screwworm problem by sending out infertile flies. So because screwworm flies, the type of fly one male mates with several females, they irradiated the fly where the maggots, so that they were sterile, sent them out into the population to end screwworm in America. And that lasted for decades until they cut prevention efforts, and now they're back. And now beef prices are going to skyrocket.
Why are we talking about maggots on this? Put a 2 in the chat if you hated that. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to jump out of a window right now because your skin is crawling.
3 different podcasts about it, and I was like,
"No, this is
kind of cool."
No, it's not.
But to me, it's like public policy, right?
So it absolutely is. But
they always pull up these like, why are we spending money on maggots? This doesn't make any sense. Government money should be spent on this. But it's like we live in an ecosystem where you have to biologically attack certain things. It's the same thing with like vaccinations. Like you got to put money into this stuff. There are people who learn this and are super interested because they save the rest of us from having to worry about it and deal with it. And when you remove these foundations of our scientific discovery, then you get like a landslide of problems, and now we might be on the verge of a major beef problem. I know I'm weird, and I loved every minute of it.
No, you did, and I'm. We gotta let you nerd out. Okay, Carmelo Anthony.
Let's do it.
That's why you're all here.
That's why we're here.
Well, it's 7:30. We need at least probably a half hour.
Yes, you did it. You're gonna need an hour.
And then I'll do my deep dive, and then we'll go. We'll get you out of here by 9 o'clock. All these shows have gotten longer because you know what? Because I'm not doing twice a week anymore. Yeah. So they have gotten a bit longer. And I just want to say again, we got a bunch of people in the chat. Please, please, please hit the like button. Please, if you are on social media, share. Let people know right now that you're watching. Send the YouTube link, send the Facebook link. Let people know that you're watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it.
Support.
I want to laugh, so I need to get the laugh out before we talk about this.
Go ahead.
You came on this show to talk about some maggots.
My apologies. Next up's prion disease. You want to worry about that, Cal?
We already had a beef issue, right? And they started importing. Remember, they were importing the beef from Argentina that was already tainted because of the fascist and Trump's little fascist boyfriend down there.
Because he doesn't understand how things work.
He does not.
He actually doesn't care. He genuinely doesn't care.
You have friends in this chat. I don't.
Hey, shout out.
Understand.
And yet, Katie gave me all the twos a moment ago, but she was also down.
You're ruining people's appetites, Dr.
I'm sorry. It was still a good steak. If you ate the steak, it's Screwworm just showed up this week, so steak was probably fine. It's just so the biggest problem isn't that it taints the food; it devastates the population. So you're not able to have beef. You gotta. Yeah.
Okay.
My apologies.
There you go.
Carmelo Anthony. Moving on.
All right. For those who don't, those who gotta go back, we gotta let people know the story.
Go back and say what happened. Yes.
Somebody may not know what we're talking about.
They may not. You're correct.
Carmelo Anthony could be the basketball player.
I have trouble every time I was hearing it. Not like
first time I heard it, they were like Carmelo Anthony stab. I was like, what did he do?
What? We out here stabbing you in the NBA. What are you doing?
Like what?
What are you doing, baby?
Like what is happening? Yeah. Dr. Hall, we're not supposed to laugh.
I'm sorry.
Chat, listen. Dr. Hall and I laugh at things not because we don't take them seriously.
No. Dark sense of humor is over here.
It is comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
And the dark humor of nerds.
Yes. Also, I mean, once again, it's a very African thing to
laugh at pain.
Laugh at pain. Yeah.
Laugh at suffering.
That's how we survive, is by laughing at the darkness that is encroaching all the time.
Dr. Hall, he said we're not African.
Oh, my apologies. So we're not African?
We're black.
Oh, yeah. I heard we're indigenous to America somehow. Yeah.
Shout out to my indigenous followers. We do not believe that bullshit.
We do not.
We know that there were 36,000 voyages that trafficked our people, millions of our people from the continent.
Why ain't no slave ships?
We know that.
It's one of those, if you want to make me mad, like get my eye twitching, say, start talking FBA, and I'm like, oh God.
Mine here, I'm sitting here with red undertones because I actually have this in my blood, but I'm like, no, I'm still a nigga.
Yeah. I got some Cherokee in my face.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
In the Appalachian.
Yeah,
all right. So Carmelo Anthony from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Back in the chat.
We were just talking about Louisiana.
Interesting, right?
Oldest of 4 kids. They moved to North Texas 5 years ago. Smart kid, 3.7 GPA.
No.
And I'm gonna give him that because that's on a real GPA scale. All this 4.6 grade inflation shit is stupid. Like,
yeah.
Giving these kids too much. He's 3.7. We respect the 3.7. That's good. Captain of track and field and football. Dr. Hall, we both went to high school. We know those athletes. You got to be a superstar athlete in high school to be captain of two sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sports is often self-protective for young Black men because it does give them structure and outlets for their behaviors and social connection.
I used to sneak out of my dorm and have sex with the guy who was the captain of the football and the basketball team.
See, that type of aside is not going to float, Professor.
I just wanted to point that out there.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I had high standards.
You did. Very high standards.
So anyway, he had a job, couple jobs. So he was smart, athletic, hardworking, oldest of four. April 2025. He was involved with a confrontation with a guy named Austin Metcalf. Now Carmelo Anthony is black, Austin Metcalf is white.
Can we paint the scene a little bit? I do know what happened.
I'm getting there.
Okay, my apologies. I just wanted to contribute.
Well, go ahead. No, paint the scene. Give us the scene, man. Because you want to.
It was raining at a track meet, and
yeah, it was raining.
There were some people had tents at the track meet.
Okay, the students or the families, or both?
Both.
Okay.
But there certain organizations had their own tents, and because humans don't human the same at some of these types of things, just seeing another human being rained on isn't enough for you to be not kind to that human. Yeah. So Carmelo Anthony got under a tent that he did not belong under.
Now, okay, I'm going to go back to referencing that high school that I went to. Yeah, nah, you don't go under people's tents. Not when white people invest all that money into setting up their tents.
In Texas?
You ain't even got to be in Texas. I was in New Jersey. White people the same all over this country. You don't go in a white person's tent when they done set it up. Probably, having snacks and things. You don't belong there.
Yeah.
And they don't care if it's raining.
Yep. And so
he was trying to get out the rain.
Yeah, originally.
Okay.
But at some point, I think he had circled back, he had left and then came back. And at that point, Mr. Metcalf, is that his name?
Austin Metcalf.
Yeah. Engaged him in an altercation. There was shoving, and Carmelo Anthony threatened, and then pulled from his bag a knife and stabbed the young man.
Well, before we get there,
sure.
Because you see, you're supposed to be setting the scene, but you skipped a lot of important details.
Did I skip some details? I thought I had it.
First of all, it was a track and field championship.
My apologies.
That's a big deal.
Big deal.
I did field events on the track team. Shot put, javelin, discus.
You're there all day.
It's a pretty big deal.
You're there all day.
And you're there all day. And it's exhausting, especially when you got the championships. A lot is riding on these things. And then this is Texas. Texas pours more money into athletics than it does books. So no shade to Texas, but come on.
Yeah.
You guys know that. And there was a fight over, I guess, a seat under the tent or something like that. Carmelo was not supposed to be there. And Austin, was it Austin? Austin told him to leave, right? Okay. Now, why would Austin tell him to leave? Now, they're from two different schools, right? Did they know each other before this?
They haven't said.
Somebody in the chat, let me know. Did these two guys know each other? Because I was hearing things about how they had a long-standing beef, but I don't know if that was something that came up in the testimonies, in the trials. I don't know. They're saying, okay, so here's what we do know, but I need to find that out. We gonna investigate, because I was trying to find. Apparently, somebody said apparently they did.
Oh,
well, how do we know that? They shared a friend. Oh, tenuous relationship.
Said over and over again, there was no prior motive. That's what I remember hearing.
Okay.
So that no long-standing.
Because when it first happened, Black folks were saying he was being picked on by this guy, repeatedly, as justification for why he showed up to the place with a knife.
Right.
So I'm trying to find evidence of that. I'm trying to find documentation that these two guys, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, had some long-standing personal beef, or that Carmelo Anthony was being antagonized by Austin Metcalf, possibly his twin brother Hunter, possibly the other people that would motivate a young person to bring a knife to such an event. right? Some outlets are saying they did not know each other, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like
most of them I saw they
didn't know each other.
No prior motive, no prior history, no knowledge of each other.
So anyway,
I mean, it does speak to a lot of young black men feel that they live with fear, they live with anxiety, and so one of the reasons we have within our community issues around murder and crime is because they often will arm themselves as a way to assuage that fear. And so it's possible, we couldn't say for sure, but he might have been afraid of being, say, in a fight or losing a fight or being overtaken, and thus always had that thing on him.
Did they say in the testimony that this was something that he regularly did, that he regularly carried around a knife?
I never heard. I didn't.
Oh, you know why? Because he didn't testify for himself.
He didn't testify on his own for himself.
Right.
Yes, he failed to do that.
A lot of people were talking about, well, why didn't he testify for himself? First of all, he was 17 years old. He's 19 years old now. He's still too young to know what the hell to say. They would rip him to shreds on that stand, right? I also want to remind people that, for much of our history, people were not allowed to defend themselves when they were accused of these kinds of crimes, because the idea was that a person is going to say anything they can to get off, so their testimony doesn't really mean anything. I probably would not testify on my own behalf either. Like, what's the point? You're either gonna believe me or you're not. So why am I sitting there, right, and subjecting myself? If I remember right, there were posts on other kids' pages about his racist beliefs. Is that Austin? You saying is Austin's racist?
Possible.
Well, of course, he's a little white kid. Of course, he's racist. I'm sorry, white people like following me. Like, that's racism is inherent. You guys actually have to work against being racist. You have to like be proactive to not be racist in the United States, right? And we see, and this is Texas. I mean, there's so many things that are happening here, right? You know what I mean? So they're saying, now there were some witnesses that testified. The only witness that testified for Carmelo was his mama. Dr. Hall, you're facing first-degree murder charge. And the only person that your lawyers have testified is your mama.
I mean, I think this goes to some of the things that we've said before. When we talk about black people being in these white environments, you send them to these nice schools for them to be have access to the best education, and that means they might be in these worlds alone, completely alone. So this kid who's trying to get out of the rain is maybe feels targeted, feels threatened, and that in the end, no one else will stand up for him except for his mom when it comes to why he might have behaved the way he did. Is that the prosecution? Is that
where is his community?
Right.
Now, in terms of witnesses, if he was under that tent by himself and wasn't there with any friends, maybe because he didn't have anyone that he felt he could hang out with at the competition. But I wonder about that, because if there's one thing that black boys do really well, even in these white situations, is they are connected via sports. Some of them, and that was my experience when I was in boarding school. The black boys, that was their in, was that they were athletes. Most of them were athletes. They were there because they were athletes, and they kind of took on this whole like bro culture, football, basketball, whatever, track, whatever they were doing, they had those connections. But also track is also an individual sport, right? So I could see how, but he's the captain. Okay, so again, he's the captain of the track team. You get voted to be captain. He's got to have good camaraderie with the team to be made captain, right? So at some point, he was by himself. Was he going to decompress? Was he, why not on their side? Why not amongst his team, knowing that there's these pressures and things like that? Again, folks, we're not sitting here making excuses or trying to explain. We're asking the questions to try to figure out what was going on. Now, again, I'm also speaking this as a perspective of a mother of a Black teen who was in a predominantly white school for high school and did deal with these racist bastards on many occasions. I did not always tell y'all about these situations, but my son regularly dealt with racist micro and macro aggressions at his white school. And the school was 8% Black, right? But one thing about my son is that he's kind, he's compassionate. He'll make connections with anybody. My son is also 6'5" and 270 pounds. So he's got to be physically aware of what his presence does and how people will treat him or try to charge him up or poke at him to get a reaction out of him. And those racist bastards at that school that he went to would constantly pick on him being in the band and having to deal with that. So there were times at the band events where he felt isolated or he felt like there was tensions there and he could not do that. And I'm presenting that to kind of say, this is something that could have been also happening for Carmelo.
Yeah.
At the same time, what the fuck are you doing on their side?
Trying to get out of the rain.
And why your mama ain't teach you not to do that?
I mean, I think particularly, once again, if we're talking about these new young people, they don't have the same understanding of racial dynamics that we had as children. And so they often do go in these situations thinking there's this impression of equality and a little aloof to the dynamic at times.
Oh, no, I don't think this was, I'm sorry, let me cut you off. So his team might not have been able to afford a tent. It's not even about that. Because I think this was like a private, this was something like they had set up for the young people. So they may have had a boosters, like I was on our boosters. We would bring food and snacks and stuff like that for them. Yeah. I don't think it's about the school affording it or whatever, but it's definitely on the on one of the other team's side. It's in the school that he does not go to. So what is he doing over there, right? And I'm going to ask these questions because all of these things factor into what eventually became a nigga moment. And I'm just going to be honest about that, but we'll get to that. So apparently there was a confrontation. And the witnesses said that when Austin Metcalf basically came at him and told him, and his brother, right? Twin brother. So it's 2-on-1, at least 2-on-1.
Outside Carmelo's weight class, they were both bigger than him, standing over him while he was sitting down.
Told him that he needed to leave. Why didn't he leave?
He did not judge that moment well.
I bring up his mama because I think perhaps because of the way that I was raised. And the consciousness that was instilled in me as a young Black girl who was one of only 2 Black girls in my freshman high school class. This is in the mid-90s. When I went to school and lived amongst these wealthy, white, racist bitches who now all kind of kiss up to me, right? I learned very quickly what these people were about. But I was prepared because my mama told me.
You knew where you belonged and you knew where you didn't.
Watch out for them people. Now, she knew because she was from one. Not dealing with the money part, but kind of the racial kind of, even when they sleep with the Black boys, they can still hate you because you're a Black girl. So there was something there that was instilled in me. And so in a moment like that, Dr. Hall, if it was me, and I see these 2 people standing up over me, now a couple of things could happen because I am from New York and I'm an Aries and I talk a lot of shit. I probably tongue the fuck out of my face.
You're a little slick with the tongue,
But also, I probably wouldn't. Why? Because it's raining.
You're surrounded by white people.
Surrounded by white people. It's a track championship and my head is in the fucking game. I'm thinking about my races. I'm thinking about the things that I need to do. You know what I'm going to do, Dr. Hall? I'm going to get my shit and I'm going to get up and leave.
Hey.
Now, do I expect that to be the decision of a 17-year-old young Black boy or Black man, young Black man, whatever we want to, however we want to call him, he's 17. In 2025. No.
Unfortunately.
Not these young people raised on these devices where they fight and bully with each other all day. Not when
say
everything
egregious things to each other. Things
say
that would
egregious things to each
that would
other.
get you, you know, punched in the face when I was a kid, but they're used to saying things.
Maggie said, read a report that a friend invited him to the tent. It's common for teams to socialize, apparently. Yeah. Not black people. Like, maybe he was tired of walking away. You're right.
Maybe.
But also
you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
So that's what I'm also thinking. You're 17 years old and you have a 3.7 GPA and you have a future ahead of you. Is this worth it? Is this argument worth it? Just putting that there. So anyway,
you got a teenage body coursing with hormones and
you ain't right, like all this shit.
Get hot.
Not the whole we getting there to the nigga moment. All right, so then he says, this is what witnesses say. At one point, he reached inside of a bag and said to them, "Touch me and see what happens." Now, the reason this becomes important is because this is where the prosecution is saying intent comes from. Now, they charged him with murder. Here's the thing, you know, part of why they charged him with
not manslaughter, but
murder. Not manslaughter, murder, right? Which we talked about in the child case about the premeditation. And in the child case, we said that was inappropriate because that was definitely manslaughter. They should have charged him with manslaughter, but it was not murder because it was not premeditated, anything like that. They're saying that because he said this, that he was letting them know, I will use this knife on you if you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Now that I understand because it's like, this is my way of defending myself. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. I got something on me.
Once again.
And I'm telling you to leave me alone so I don't have to use this.
Yes.
At the same time, his ass could have been walking away.
Right. He was still outnumbered, outgunned.
You're outnumbered, my nigga.
What are you doing?
At a track championship in the rain.
Right.
Who raised you and did not prepare you for this? And so I'm taking this off of this kid. Again, he's 17 years old. He's not thinking like this, but this is also a fear I have as a mother of a black child who has been in these situations.
And the father of a black child who doesn't always get like, hey man, no, this situation is a situation. Like, you need to be thoughtful 2 steps ahead, because if not, you're gonna find yourself in some trouble.
I hated having to bring up the race thing with my son, and I knew that there were times when he was frustrated because he was like, "Mom, they're not like that," and I'm like, "Yes, they are."
You don't know they are until they are.
And it wasn't until like his junior year that he started realizing, like, oh, they're racist. I was telling you that, freshman inside.
Yeah. Unfortunately, young black boys don't get to be kids. You froze, and I think, did we lose Dr. T? Because I think she'd still be talking.
I'm here. No.
There we go.
Hello, am I here?
You're here. You're back. You're back.
I don't know what that. Oh, you know what? I have the New York Post open. That's the
New York
problem.
Post.
Every time
I thought we solved that.
I thought we did, and I opened it up again because I'm stupid. Okay, but I'm just thinking, like,
ADHD.
As I'm thinking as a black mother who had to frustratingly deal with my son saying they're not like that. They're, you know, all those kinds of things. But I'm just like, I know they are because they have not changed and they will never change.
Right.
But you don't want to impart that on your kids. You don't want
to have to give them that.
You don't want to have to do that. You don't have to give them that talk. But we have to as black parents.
You have a responsibility to. Yes. Oh no, we just completely lost her because now it's just me. We have a responsibility as black parents to teach our children. And I wish that more white parents talked to their children and had a similar talk with them. But unfortunately, white people in America are not given the language to understand race, whereas black people have to do it so much more readily. So whereas as a black boy or black person who was a black boy who's grown into a black man, I could see being in a situation like that and being terrified that these two very large people are standing over me. And am I going to have to fight my way out of this situation? And should I arm myself? It's very easy to armchair quarterback afterwards and say, no, he never should have done that. And yet.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. It was my show for a second. Yeah, and I did my best, but I got to finish that thought before I.
Yes, please.
To feel frightened in that situation, I could see that, but I could also understand how the general public who doesn't look at black boys as boys will assume criminality, assume there must be some malicious intent, and so to me it's crazy to think, and that, you know, not to use that term, but like that he came there that day to murder someone.
Oh no!
And yet I know that we live in a society that could immediately label him as that and then toss him in the bin.
I don't know if you touched on this when I got kicked off, because there's no reason for that to have happened. I have full internet bars or whatever. Yeah. Know how I feel. Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, no.
They trying to get rid of your girl. They trying to silence your girl.
Only 2 months left on the show.
It ain't even right.
Yeah.
Dr. Hall, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
We haven't raised revolutionaries. They are not prepared.
These sweet summer children.
They are not prepared for what we might do in these situations, right? I'm at the point in my life, I find myself in a situation like that. It's not going to be pretty. But I'm also almost 50 years old, and I've lived a pretty damn good life. So I'm ready to risk it all. But I was also raised by a revolutionary. I've read all the texts. I've armed myself. I've trained. I'm going to think differently. We're not raising revolutionaries. We're raising children that are rather soft.
Yeah.
But again, before I got cut off, it's that tension of, do we allow them to be children and not have to carry that burden that, like us, like for example, us Gen Xers, out the gate, we are raised by parents who actually were born into struggle and throughout their lives saw the most rapid changes and progress made in American history. My father was born in 1950. My mother was born in 1955.
My dad was born in 1956.
Right. Like they were born at that time.
Yeah.
Brown v. Board of Ed we get, but then like 10 years later, we're getting civil rights acts, right? Then we're getting feminist stuff. Then we've got war. Then we've got all these things. So they saw all that progress, but they still instilled in us, do not trust these crackers.
Hey, because they were like, my aunt was traumatized.
My mom was bused to school. Like,
No, my aunt was traumatized by January 6th because it reminded her of the white people yelling at her when they integrated her school, when she had to be integrated into grade school, right? Like they have that in their memory, in their bodies as trauma, white people being virulently racist.
Yes.
And our children have not. They have no, like when I bring it up, my kids are like, but they aren't like that. But like for real, no.
No, they are. They are exactly like that.
Forces weren't that long ago. January 6th was not that long ago.
And the kids we dealt with are raising their kids to continue to be this way.
Right. Kids who they got the hard R in them, like they say it. Don't act like they don't.
All the time.
Yeah.
And in their group chats, like my son is in college now, and he talks about the anonymous, chat that they have.
Yeah.
On everything. That's I mean, flagrant. And they don't know if it's their roommate because everything is anonymous.
Yeah. But it's around you.
But it's around you. You could be in class with somebody who was just
right next
talking
to you
about this on
he could be right next. He could be sleeping next to you, sleeping with the enemy.
And so this is what we're dealing with the young people. So when we try to teach them how to be prepared, they're still there. They want friends. They want community. Because they're on social media, they're so used to being around all different types. They didn't grow up, culturally isolated like we did.
Right.
Like me going to boarding school was a culture shock for me. Like I came out of Black and Latino spaces.
Yes. Well,
the majority of my life till that
have been
point.
Flattened so much that they don't have the same access to.
Exactly. So they don't. Right. They all sound this. They don't even have regional accents anymore. But like they are so used to engaging white people online in ways that we never interacted with white people.
Yeah.
I hate to say this to my white people in the audience, but folks like me and Dr. Hall did not grow up hanging out with y'all like that.
Yeah.
Like we had white teachers, He had put white police officers, white business owners, perhaps. But we wasn't rocking with y'all, and we didn't have that kind of exposure to you. So when we end up going to college or whatever situation is, we're getting this culture shock. Like, oh, this is how y'all living. These young people. My son was watching YouTube videos and making friends with Dan TDM fans when he was like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. He's in the chat. They're all, these little kids are in the chat watching a guy play video games. They got friends, Roblox. They got friends. Then they get on the Snapchats and the TikToks, and they're just exposed. So they're naive. And they believe the best of people. But Carmelo Anthony did not, because he was walking around with a knife. So what happened to him?
He's from Louisiana. So
that's the other thing. He's coming from Louisiana. Probably, we're coming, I think they said Baton Rouge, coming out of an area where probably used to being around people that look like him. Probably engaged some thug life shit because he's around people that look like him.
Or at the very least, knew to be ready.
Knew to be ready. You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready.
Once again, in certain environments, we don't talk about this, but like in certain white environments, it's like it'll escalate. You know, white boys get down, they fight. But like in black environments, like a lot of our black boys are raised in environments where they don't know how much the other person's going to escalate. So they have to be ready.
Gotta stay ready
first.
Right.
And so these two white boys think they're just going to rough this kid up. But this kid might be thinking, I don't know how far this is going to go, because where I'm from, this don't just stop at you putting hands on me.
And he was there for 4 years. So he had 4 years in the school, you know, get him April, pretty much the end, because if he was 17, he was about to graduate. So towards the end, 4 years in this predominantly white school and this predominantly white culture.
Yeah.
What had he experienced that we don't know about?
Right. We might never know about.
Because he did not testify on his own behalf. He had no character witnesses. Nobody came forward. Not a teacher, not a counselor, not a coach. Nobody was called to testify on behalf of this young man. Those lawyers couldn't subpoena his coach and ask them to talk about his leadership skills, how well connected he was with everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody from a church.
Right.
Nobody.
Not a Sunday
called nobody to testify for this boy.
But also, once again, it says, where's his community? What was he connected with? Did she just bring him to this area, drop him in this school, and hope that he'd make the connections?
Dr. Howard was his father.
Yeah.
He's the oldest of 4. His mama testified. What do we know about his father?
I mean, I know so little about him.
Now, it said that the Anthony family received death threats. Again, he's the oldest of 4 kids. Dr. Hall, did you bring up the fact that when they got there, he told the police that he did it?
He did.
He said, they said alleged. He said, no, alleged, I did it. So he confessed to it.
Oh, so he has a father. His mother is a stay-at-home mother.
Okay. Why his father ain't testify? That's your son.
Yeah. They moved to Texas for a better life. Jeez.
Yeah, right? Moved to Texas from Louisiana. I can understand it. Louisiana is the worst in the nation. Yeah. Them and Oklahoma are the worst when it comes to things like education, crime, things like that.
Yeah.
We talked about Angola prison in Louisiana. We talked about Louisiana's history of being the worst place for Black people. I'm sorry.
Like, Louisiana a lot.
I know my Louisiana folks will defend it. They love New Orleans. I'm sorry, but that state is the worst for Black people to be.
It's at the bottom.
And it has been for hundreds of years. And those of you that grow up there and you've survived that, kudos to you. You got the strength of the ancestors protecting you every single day.
Yeah.
They moved from there to Texas. Now, we know a lot of people, that was a pathway that got created after Katrina, right? Remember, Katrina
you know, and everything. A lot of black people.
Displaced a lot of black people who ended up moving right over to Texas, Houston, Frisco, Dallas, all those things. They started moving to Texas. So that new migration pattern, it makes sense. And they probably had people there that they could move.
Somebody.
You know, no, I'm confused. Right. So this is where we're going with this. This is where, like, you guys know, again, political theater. We poke through these things. We go through this because we need to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was his defense team doing?
What is going on? Right. So what else happened? All right. He admitted to doing this. Okay.
To the police.
To the police. Okay.
Yeah.
If they charge him with manslaughter, he's admitted to doing it. That's pretty open and shut.
They charged him with murder. They could have charged him with.
They could have charged him with manslaughter. We probably wouldn't have heard about this. Because what defense do black people have when they charge him with manslaughter, which he did kill a boy, and then he said, "I did it." What would black people say about that? There's nothing really we can say about it.
Yeah, somebody died.
The issue is that they charged him with first-degree murder, as in he planned to do this. And immediately the questions were like, well, why does he carry a knife? Dr. Hall, you and I have talked about that as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to his parents. Were y'all aware of what was going on in y'all son's life that had him carrying a knife around? Did y'all know that he had a knife? Is that why your father didn't testify? Because in the cross-examination,
he might have gave him the knife.
It might have come out that his father gave him the knife.
I gave my son a knife. I mean, hey, you need to cut up boxes sometimes. Keep this knife on you because I need you to do stuff with knives. I'm a Boy Scout. You got to carry a knife.
Okay. So let's bring everybody up to speed. Carmelo Anthony, 17 years old, track star, captain of the track team, is at the track championship last year of high school. He's in a predominantly white setting. It's raining. He, with his bag, decides to go and sit under a tent. May or may not have been invited. Doesn't really matter because the Metcalf brothers didn't want him there. And they confronted him about it and said, get out of here, whatever they said. And he does not like being confronted because he is a young man.
We don't know what he's dealing with emotionally or mentally.
We don't know what was going on. Maybe he lost his race. Do we know anything about that? See, I'm going to ask these questions. This is where this is the Black Girl Missing podcast person. Right. We ask these questions, right?
What was going on with him emotionally, mentally? What's his history?
Did he lose his race? Was he mad as hell because he lost his race?
Was he mad after a lifetime of being told to leave places he might not have to go?
Maybe he's tired.
Where to go, but
maybe it's been 4 years of them crackers telling him to move
him around. Yeah.
Right. Okay. He points in his bag, lets them know that he has a weapon.
Yeah.
Dr. Hall, what did he say? Go back. We'll go back.
Touch
he
me.
He said, "Touch me and see what happens."
Yeah, which once again typical Black guy refrain. Touch me and see what happens.
Typical? Is that what you say? You trying to say the niggas are just violent?
No, I'm saying that's what we say. Like, hey, touch me and see what happens. That's.
But do you do that while brandishing a weapon?
Not necessarily brandishing a weapon, but like it's typical. I've seen a million folks do that.
The case here.
I'm not saying we're all armed, but it very much is a touch me and see what happens, armed or not.
You're saying that they don't have degrees of murder. I know there's a difference between murder and capital murder. It wasn't like there are degrees because capital murder is everywhere.
Yeah. Typical Black.
So he shows this, and I guess the buddy Metcalf decided to touch him.
Yeah, put his hands on him, put the paws on him.
Now, Dr. Hall, what is a nigga moment?
A nigga moment is when two people could have walked away reasonably, but unfortunately, pride, a low emotional intelligence, whatever's happening in the moment meets, and rather than two alphas walking away from each other, they gotta fight. They gotta escalate to an altercation, and so fisticuffs ensued, and he stabbed old boy in the chest.
Oh no, I want to explain this to people. I want you to see the visual. Where are we getting this from? People may not know where we're getting this.
Shout out to Aaron McGruder.
We're not making this up.
Yeah. Shout out to Aaron McGruder.
Yeah, we're talking about this for real.
Nincompoop! You can't do that! Hey! Come on!
Nigga moments can happen to any black man at any time.
Hey! That was my space! I had my blinker on and everything! Fuck you, punk-ass, bougie-ass, hook-ass nigga! I'll beat your motherfucking sedity-ass nigga! Don't never in your life ever try to holler at me, nigga! Fuck with me, nigga, I'll be done pop the trunk on your bitch-ass nigga! Get my motherfucking Uzi, nigga! What did you say, nigga? You know what, motherfucker? Eat a dick, nigga! I'm tired of this mother.
Oh, yeah! Look at you! You was popping all that good shit a second ago, then you got kicked in your chest! You eat a dick, nigga! You eat a dick!
Oh my God!
So, I mean, we're talking about Texas, we're talking about Louisiana.
Wait. One more.
Go ahead. Do the original.
I need you all to be a part of this. Like, you gotta understand what we're talking about here.
Watch where you walking, nigga. Hey, what you say, nigga?
Watch closely. You're about to experience a nigga moment. Webster defines the nigga moment as a moment when ignorance overwhelms the mind of an otherwise logical Negro male.
What did you say, bitch, nigga? Hey, squeeze it, nigga.
Causing him to act in an illogical, self-destructive manner, i.e., like a nigga. Nigga moments are unpredictable.
Hey, wait, man, wait. This is stupid. Hey, you right, dawg. Look, let's put the guns away and go on about our business. Freeze!
But they all end up bad.
Yeah. So when we talk about that on this show, that's what we're referring to, right?
Right.
Okay. So
the culture of honor. That's what I was thinking of. In psychology, we talk about the culture of honor, which is a Southern concept where if you feel like someone stepped to you, you cannot step down. You need to defend your honor to the death. And so I remember that from Intro to Psychology. That and he's from Louisiana, so you know.
See what happens when you go to college.
Yeah, you learn about things.
Learn some things.
Research by Nisbet and Cohen, 1996.
So the Metcalf twins tell him to get his
respond
ass out the way. Probably didn't even call him a nigga, but just was like, you got to leave.
Yeah.
And they probably like touched him.
Yeah, they did touch him.
Or they threatened him, like they got in his face.
No,
he didn't say touch me again. He said touch me and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took that as a challenge.
Yep.
And then what happened? They touched him. One of them touched him. Right? Is that am I getting this right?
Touched him. Yeah,
and they took out his knife and he stabbed him.
It got touched.
He got touched. Now, we don't believe that he intended to kill anybody. We don't believe that he went in there thinking, I'm going to shank, a honky today.
He did not go in there.
It was not a honky shanking thing.
No.
Okay.
It was a tragic, foolish, senseless crime. I cited myself.
I actually have a cousin who got off for self-defense because of a similar situation. The person approached him.
They have
stabbed him.
Yeah,
no, all right. So Texas has stand your ground laws, but the thing is that they were fighting against that by saying that he told him, I'm going to do this thing to you if you do X, Y, Z. Now, why ain't nobody thinking to that boy, well, he told you he was going to do this, but he's testing it because he's a white boy. And a white boy in Texas is raised to believe that he has authority over a black boy.
Yeah.
That he has the right to invade a black boy's space. He has the right to tell a black boy where to be, where to sit, where to stand.
Right.
And if he's got another white boy next to him, then this black boy better get up and recognize what we are telling you to do, and you better go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
And this little black boy was like, you ain't gonna tell me shit. Touch me and see what happens, because they're up in his face.
Yeah.
And they decided to touch him, and so he let them see what happened. Now, again, if he did not have that knife with him, he would not have been able to stab him.
Nope. If he had not thought to use that knife in a threatening manner,
he would have scrapped.
He maybe lost the fight. Yeah.
He'd have scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Fisticuffs.
All right.
Straight up duking it out. Folks would have got lumped up.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody asked who gave the testimony. They brought in a bunch of people that were witnesses.
They had a bunch of people, bunch of witnesses.
They had, and they were all saying the same thing. And it wasn't just white people testimony. It was they were bringing in black students and everything who were saying this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So both lawyers on both sides were trying to get people to move away from the race issue because they're like, this wasn't about race. If they could see,
race colors it heavily.
Of course. I mean, this is America. Everything's about race. But in that moment, it wasn't like there were racial slurs hurled. It was, again, it's not like they had
only a racial crime.
In that, exactly. And that's all they could do really is go in that moment.
Because they can't prove that. Once again, legislatively, they can't, there's no proof in that moment. We all know that it is coloring the emotions of all sides. But like, how do you legislate that?
And so, and of course, right? Like that's just, I mean, that's really what it is. Okay. So anyway, he's charged with this. He gets out on a $250,000 bond. Now, Dr. Hall, I was curious about the bond. It was only $250,000. And here's why I say that.
$250,000?
Because when somebody dies, Dr. Hall, and it's in this kind of way, it's like $1 million usually. So I was trying to figure this out. I don't know. Again, I haven't looked deeply into Texas and how they do their
bond is itself like one of
those things. But I just thought I was like, and so when I heard it was a murder charge, I was like, $250,000 on a murder charge?
Yeah, it could have been less.
That's kind of crazy. But okay, but he got it because the family had a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe raised over $600,000. And then I remember you saying, "Isn't that a lot?" $250,000. I'm sorry, maybe because I'm from New York and seeing niggas get $1 million bonds.
Yeah, but like it's a lot. So I always think of it once again as a parent. I always think, what happens if my kid does something stupid?
Yeah,
I now got to come up with a chunk of money just to get you out of jail,
just so that you are not facing the dangers of jail in this incarceration nation. They say maybe because he was a juvenile, but he's facing. Was he charged as an adult?
He was charged as an adult,
so he's not technically. He stopped being a juvenile.
He was a 17-year-old black boy.
They stopped being a juvenile once they charged him as an adult, so that wouldn't really count. But anyway, he was out on bond. He was out on bond, and him and his family have dealt with terror ever since this time because
this is a black kid who killed a white kid.
Because it's a black kid who killed a white kid. I mean, all the death threats, people protesting and racialized protesting, very clearly some Klan stuff going on, families terrorized. They were raising money so that they could relocate because their home was no longer safe for them, right? And then they were questioning, did they spend the GoFundMe on a house? Whatever. Who gives a shit? They raised the money, it's whatever. But they were able to pay the lawyers. Now I'm mad because they spent all that money on lawyers who didn't do shit. I have to say that.
They didn't do enough.
I'm sorry, they didn't do enough for this kid.
They did not.
Because how do you only call one witness and it's his mama? What in the bumblefuck was that?
Yeah.
Dr. Hall, who are the lawyers that represented him? Let's see. Question. Mike Howard. What was this? Let's see. In case who? Let me get to this. Who were the lawyers? Who are the lawyers? Who are the lawyers? Oh my gosh. Howard told jurors that that Metcalf had no legal right to put his hands on Carmelo. I remember that part. Texas law says that does not require that you wait until you get hit. In the split second of chaos, you must put yourself in his shoes, right? I can get that.
Yeah.
Prosecutors said that Anthony provoked Metcalf and witnesses have testified that he was the aggressor. This is not self-defense, folks. It's murder, plain and simple. I still don't think that is premeditated murder. I just don't.
It was a situation that's stupid in the moment.
It's very stupid in a moment. And then they said, the defense said, you don't get to meet a shove with a stab, especially if you provoke the shove. And that's where that whole touch me and see what happens is. But the critical point of that is,
once again, to me, a cultural nuance that is missed by.
But regardless, it could have been a white kid saying that.
Yeah.
Why did you touch him? He said, touch me and see what happens. And you decided to touch him. And now you're dead.
You instigated an altercation.
You instigated an altercation because Austin could have walked away too.
Yeah.
So what you have are two teenagers
who can't walk away.
Who gotta prove who they are.
Pride.
Gotta prove that they men.
Culture of honor.
You're not gonna let you ain't about to embarrass me in front of these people. We had a championship, all these people watching. You ain't about to make me look stupid.
Yep. Boys, young boys and their pride.
And that's what I think is at the heart of this.
Yes. And
that's what I think is at the heart of this, Dr. Hall. And you know what? I could be wrong.
No, I mean,
so
in our collective grief, when a racialized incident like this happens, everybody feels like they're the loser.
So I want to show y'all this post that I saw on Threads.
In the end, 2 young men's lives are lost.
I want to show you this post that I saw on Threads. It says, unpopular opinion, toxic masculinity killed Austin Metcalf and sentenced Carmelo Anthony. Austin threw his weight around because he wanted to prove that he was big enough and bad enough to, after numerous failed requests to do so voluntarily, force Carmelo to leave the tent. Leaving as requested would have made Carmelo look weak in the eyes of his peers, so he refused to do the reasonable thing and leave. Why would he even desire to stay in an area where no one seemingly wants him there? Carmelo stayed in that tent to prove that he was no one's bitch, and now 2 families are in ruins.
I don't disagree.
Don't disagree, Dr. Hall.
If men could walk away, if it wasn't for that testosterone coursing through their veins saying, I gotta beat my chest and defend, this spot that I'm standing in to the death.
So what is it with our young boys? Because you know what? I'm also seeing, again, and I'm going to align this with the uptick we're seeing with young men under 25 killing their girlfriends for leaving them. What is going on, right? This is a rhetorical question, but what is going on with these young men of various races and ethnicities and cultures killing people, killing girls, women, because they feel abandoned, or that have to prove that they're men, or because they're pregnant and they can't provide for this baby, so they kill the girl. What's up with these? I've been seeing a lot of videos lately, young men just beating on women, and people just recording and actually just recording and doing nothing, but just watching these men beat on these women like it's okay. Like this shit has gotten to the point where it's beyond normalized, as the young people say.
Right.
It's always been like a hidden secret, but now it's like out in the open, and now they're behaving with reckless abandon. So what is going on?
Yeah.
And this is a great question. Where were the damn coaches, the teachers popping? I think it happened so quickly.
Yeah.
But the thing about it happened quickly is if he did not have this knife in his bag, he wouldn't have been able to stab him.
Knife as a thing. I mean, once again, once there are people who, once you have a weapon, then you think I have to use it. It's a Chekhov's gun situation. And so I don't have to back down. I've got something that allows me to escalate this.
And Austin Metcalf and his brother Hunter had whiteness on their side, which is a weapon for them.
Yeah.
That made them feel like they could meet that escalation.
They couldn't even conceive that this could go left in that way until it did.
Dr. Hall, 12 jurors was selected. None of them were black.
Hispanic and Asians.
Hispanic, he was white, Hispanic.
Your favorite.
White and Asian people in Texas. So I mean, Asian and Latino people in Texas are white anyway, for the most part.
They like they check the white box on the.
I'm not trying to be an asshole, but we see how you vote. Proximity to whiteness is very important to our Asian.
Hey, I want you to get them levers of power, baby. You need them levers of power.
Our non-black Latinos, I should say. But even some of them niggas are crazy.
You need them levers of power. I ain't trying to be left out.
And so, but Dr. Hall, would a black jury have found it? I mean, look, we'll go back to the child.
I think a black
five
jury
black people,
might
five
have-
white people.
Yeah.
They still found him not guilty because based on the charges that he faced, they could not prove that this man intended to kill this kid, which I don't think he did. Right. But also in a split second kind
I think
of
it's
moment.
more reasonable to say
Right,
he
like
did not show up to that game that day.
Yeah, he did not. Yeah, like Rick Child did not show up
to his job
that day.
Yeah, to kill that kid.
Right. So
did he behave recklessly in a manner that it resulted in him dying?
Had he been charged with reckless manslaughter or something like that, he'd probably been convicted, but that's not what happened.
Right.
They said, did the jury get a choice of the verdicts? Yes. So here, the jurors who deliberated for less than 3 hours had the option of a lesser charge, manslaughter, but didn't choose it.
But as we talked about last time, they don't know the law.
They don't know the law. The juries are
They often have to have it explained to them.
They have to have it explained to
And
them.
so at some point, and
I
also-
tell y'all, don't ever choose a jury trial. If you get charged with something, you go with the judge.
And is Carmelo Anthony showing up in that courtroom with the same sort of benefit of the doubt as a young white boy would?
Absolutely.
That they would assume that nowhere in his heart lived the malice of intent to murder another human. Or is he showing up as a young black boy who they all believe have some element of criminality in our blood?
Dr. Hall, there's a question here. I wonder if it's a result of parents not allowing children to experience the consequences of their actions. They don't learn to regulate their emotions. I think that's definitely a part of it. But I think that white people have always been like that. Like they've never had to face the consequences for their actions until very recently. But we're going to talk about that in 1 second. We're not going to get to the what you call it thing, and I'm going to save that for next time because I think that I'm gonna save the deep dive. It's 8:30. We're not going to.
It is already 8:30. How do we do this?
So no, it's fine. This is something that we need to talk about. People wanted to talk about this, and I think that it's important to create this space for that. I think I agree with the defense attorney should have been playing proactive jury wise, but here's the thing.
I think they failed him for sure.
I think they did for sure. It says, I've seen students do inappropriate things and watch other administrators and staff ignore it when they see it occur. Yep, that's a huge failure on accountability. Even programs where it should be centered.
A lot of times administrators, like I've talked with teachers, I've talked with coaches, they feel their hands are tied because we've given so much power to the students, to the young people, that they feel like, what can I do? If I put my hands on them, I might get sued. The administration might get sued. So averse to litigation, that things, they just let it unfold and then I'll clean up after because I ain't trying to lose my job because I stopped something. But it does mean that when situations like this happen, you get there too late.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened. Like they got to the scene and got there kind of late. But there were a lot of witnesses there, and they all pretty much said the same thing, just in different ways. That this is what happened. That Metcalf came at him, was talking shit. Carmelo told him, "Touch me and see what happens." Yeah, he touched him,
and I'll say, as I think about what comes next, it's like, I don't know the kid. I don't know Anthony. I don't know anything about him, but I also don't believe that him sitting in prison for the rest of his life serves anybody any favors.
Dr. Hall, I'm an abolitionist. I think this is all bullshit. But anyway, because the system is corrupt, right? We know the system is corrupt. And so we cannot we're having this conversation just, theoretically, because we all know that this is the injustice system and there's no such thing as a fair trial.
To put boys like him in jail.
Because here's what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to close their eyes. And I want you to imagine that Austin Metcalf was DeAndre Metcalf. And Carmelo Anthony was Chad Anthony. And you know what I'm about to say. Black people would be just Dr. Hall. I know my people.
Did you just the time to kill me?
Yes.
Now imagine.
And I know my people. If the races were reversed, they would be calling for Chad Anthony to be thrown under the jail. Because that's what niggas do. If the circumstances were identical. If DeAndre went up to Chad and told him to get out the tent, and Chad had a knife and said, touch me and find out what happens. And DeAndre touched him, and Chad stabbed him. Black people would be saying, well, why did he have the knife? Why did he bring in a knife to school? Where's his parents? Didn't they teach him how to walk away from these kinds of things? Why was he under their tent? Why did he come over to their tent and try to be under there? Why didn't he just leave when DeAndre told him to leave? Now we done lost one of our beautiful Black boys because this white kid thought it was his right to stab him because he got pushed. That's exactly what niggas would say.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Dr. Hall, you guys know this. You know me. You know this show by now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not going to lie. Y'all know like I know that's exactly what would happen because I have seen it happen. I've seen us go hard for these things and everything. Like, what do you want the jury to do? What was the jury supposed to do? I saw a Black lawyer on there said, she's like, I hate to tell y'all folks, but an all-Black jury would have found him guilty too.
Might have.
Black people would have raised the same GoFundMe money, probably more. Ben Crump would have been on the case. And they would have said that DeAndre got killed in a racially motivated attack. All circumstances being the same, except the races being reversed. Am I lying? Like, if I'm lying, you check me. You call me in and say, you know what, hey. Dr. Taylor, I don't think that you're being fair.
I'm with you when you're right.
So while this is completely tragic, to the Metcalf family, to the Anthony family, a young white boy is dead. A young Black boy is going to spend a lot of time in jail because the same jury that wouldn't bother to charge, to mess with the manslaughter charge is in charge of his sentencing. His mama was begging at the court saying, he didn't mean to do this. Please have mercy on my baby. They're not going to have mercy on her baby.
They're not going to have mercy. It's not likely that they will receive mercy because we don't receive mercy.
Right.
We are responsible.
And Tasha makes a great point. That's the main difference is that Chad probably wouldn't have been charged.
Well, he would have been charged initially. He'd have got to go home that night.
Oh no, he would have went home. Yeah.
Public outcry rose.
Even admitting, even if he had still said, "Yeah, I did it," ain't no alleged, I did it. They'd have probably still waited. Now it would have taken Ben Crump to come and outrage, and then eventually he would be charged, right?
Right.
But that's how these lives, they're not gonna have mercy on this kid. He's 17. Well, he's 19 now. So they're gonna look at him as a 19-year-old, right? They're not looking at him. They believe
he had murder in his heart.
They believe he had murder in his heart. They believe that he intended.
There's a low probability that he'd ever murder another person if he never went to jail. But
right. So the tragedy of this
lock
case
him away and throw away the key.
Is that emotions are high. But Dr. Hall, I've been seeing these things that people are saying. I'm looking at this post that says, if there is a God, he clearly doesn't like Black people as much as we think he does. Right? And this is tagged with Carmelo Anthony. Right? Dr. Hall, I've been seeing a lot of posts where people are making comparisons between Carmelo Anthony, Rick Chow, or was that other guy? Was it Brock Turner or something? What was the guy's name? The white guy.
Which white guy?
Oh, one of the ones that shot somebody and got away with it.
So many.
There's so many. Shoot niggas every day.
No, Brock Turner is the one who sexually assaulted a girl behind the dumpster.
Oh yeah. And then they
You might be thinking about Rittenhouse.
Oh, Rittenhouse, Kyle Rittenhouse, right? Mm-hmm. Right.
Brought a gun to a protest and decided to shoot people. And,
yeah. But Dr. Hall, I'm trying to see because there was this one that I saw and why didn't I save it? Did I put it in the docket? Let me see. Oh, yep, here it is. Hold on, let me show this one, guys, because I want you all to see this. This is, because this is reflecting of the sentiment, right? You know, here's a visual of those confused about why some people are frustrated with how the justice system works in this country. Only one of these people was convicted, right? And so you see this person, you see Carmelo, you see Rick, right? And then somebody said adding a couple more, right? Daniel Penny murdered John Neely, chokehold, right? Dr. Ho, why is nobody pointing out that a white man just got convicted of killing a black man? Put a 1 in the chat if you know the case I'm talking about. I'm gonna give y'all time because I know we have a delay. A white man just got convicted of murdering a black man. Put a 1 in the chat if you know the case I'm talking about. Like, this literally just happened. I don't.
And if you happen to follow Feminista Jones on Threads, you
should know this.
Yeah, if you do the knowledge.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, right? One person knows. Thank you.
Hey, we got a couple ones. They're coming in. They're catching up.
Yeah, here we go. Man convicted of manslaughter, deadly New York stabbing of beloved Philadelphia dancer. O'Shea Sibley was killed by this white kid, Dmitry Popov, 20, who was 17 at the time of the killing. Testified and said that he was just defending himself when he stabbed Sibley, who was 28. What was Sibley doing? He was at a Brooklyn gas station voguing to some Beyonce, and this little kid started, and I'm gonna call him a kid, a little punk ass kid, starts 17. Yelling anti-gay slurs and racist slurs at him. Okay. And he just got convicted
of a hate crime.
On top of manslaughter. You know how hard it is to get convicted of a hate crime in this country, Dr. Hall?
Under this administration, very difficult.
No, just in general, it's very hard.
I mean, in general, you gotta be.
It's usually really added on too. It's usually an aside. Okay. He just got convicted.
But it doesn't fit the narrative.
I was actually going to run through all the cases where a white man or a white person has been convicted of manslaughter or something for killing a black person in the last 6 months, some of which have been women. But you know why people are not talking about this, Dr. Ha?
Yeah.
What do you think my reason is?
Because what is your reason for sharing that?
No, what is my reason that I believe that people are not talking about this? I want you to pay attention. I only got a few more minutes. I know you're tired and hungry, but let's wrap this up strong.
It doesn't feed the narrative. It doesn't activate people in the same way that a case like this does. And the victim was a homosexual.
He's a homosexual. And black people hate gay people.
I mean, we got a lot of problems with the LGBTQI community.
And the reason why I had this position where it is, because that's what I was going to segue into my deep dive. And so I will pick this up next week because this is super important. No, actually, I may come back tomorrow.
May come back?
I may have to come back and do the.
You're still in it. You're still you've been
No, I'm like really in this. But that was the segue that I was going to make, because the fact of the matter is that this ridiculous conference that just happened, and niggas are not talking about this shit, and it really bothers me. It is one of the most cataclysmic things happening in the world right now that affects Black people, and folks ain't talking about it because we have this antagonistic stance against queer people because of this colonial religiosity and white Jesus.
White Jesus.
This young gay man was killed for dancing.
For joy.
People did not follow this case on their timelines, on their feeds, on their TikToks, on their Instagrams. Nobody cared whether or not this white man was going to be convicted. I'm not going to say nobody, because I know that there were some people. I know that I had an alert for it, which is how I found out about it. I set up Google alerts for things that are important to me. But I know people didn't care about this. They weren't thinking about it. They completely forgot about this young Black gay man who was killed by a white man, because it could have just as easily been a Black man who killed him with the same gay slurs. And I'm actually getting tired of niggas being like this. I know white people, I know y'all get tired of hearing me talk about niggas, but you're in my house. Dr. Hall, I am beyond tired.
Yeah.
It is Pride Month.
Yeah.
We are 9 days into Pride Month. Why couldn't those two stories occupy the same space? Because we're focusing on the injustice of a complicated case, which the cards fell where they did.
Yeah.
You want to cite racism with a defense team that calls one witness, the boy's mama.
One character witness.
One.
Couldn't find nobody to write a letter.
Didn't do anything to try to help this boy. Y'all want to blame these other things that, yes, are always ever present.
It's so much easier than grappling with the other issues within community. It's easier to point out and say it's the white people.
But in your love for this incarceration nation, where you're always talking about when can we get some justice, a Black gay man the family got justice because the white boy that killed him was convicted of this, not just of the killing part, but of the hate crime part.
Yeah.
That should trigger something for us. Wow, they're actually getting them for hate crimes, except one of the hate crimes was one that y'all engage in every day.
The homophobias.
Dr. Hall, a man posted about how marriage is the key to Black wealth. And I responded and said, same-sex marriages are higher earners, so maybe the solution to Black wealth is for everybody to be queer. The responses I have gotten from people, and I've been blocking and hiding and things like that.
Yeah.
The responses I have gotten.
You kicked the hornet's nest
in
there.
2026.
I mean, especially because it's 2026.
Just vile, disgusting things.
Well, it is the post-Kenneth Samuels generation.
And people try to present and say, well, we're tired of folks saying that Black people are overly homophobic or things like that.
But
shut the. Proportionately, yes, we are. Yes, we absolutely are. There's many of us that still believe it's some white psychosis shit. There's many of us who believe in the whole Jesus love the sin, love the sinner, hate the sin bullshit.
Yeah.
We are.
We have not reconciled.
We have not reconciled a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Who kills Black trans women the most? Black cisgender men who are involved with them, dating them, sleeping with them, attracted to them, in love with them, but don't want anybody to know. The number one threat to the health and safety of a Black trans woman is a Black cisgender man. The biggest threat to Black women and children, cis, trans, whatever, is the Black man. Disproportionately. People always want to say it's proximity and everybody. No.
Yeah.
Black men are killing black women 3 times the rate of white men. And now black men are choosing to become family annihilators. Dr. Hall, how many goddamn black family annihilators have we had in the last 6 months? Where is this coming from?
You've got a very long list. It's just happening. Well,
it's just, I know, because guys, if you saw the docket, I have this family annihilator segment.
And
it just keeps growing because I keep adding shit to this.
Mm-hmm.
But if I call out this shit, then I'm the enemy. Oh, because I'm the man-hating feminist. Oh, you just hate black men. No, I hate what so many of you allow and condone and support in our communities. And Dr. Hall, I'm not talking about you because you trying to help these niggas. You trying to save them.
Yeah.
You do the work.
Yeah.
You burn yourself out, giving everything that you can to try to help these people.
I do my best.
You do a great job. Putting one in the chat to celebrate Dr. Hall because he is a clinical therapist. He actually is licensed. He went to a real school, and he has his black men group that he runs every month and brings the men together.
Mm-hmm. Our 2-year anniversary is this month.
Look at that, beautiful.
Yeah.
Heterosexual, queer, trans, cis. He brings them all together. Older, younger.
Yeah,
he's doing this work.
Show up.
The guest we had, Phil, he's bringing back his black man's support group. And it's starting, I believe, tomorrow in Philadelphia. He's bringing that back.
Nice.
Okay, my homie Marvin Tolliver got a black man support group that he runs in West Philadelphia. Like these are men that are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like there aren't opportunities, and I know other brothers that are doing. I know a brother down in North Carolina who's doing something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a brother in Howard right now who's working with brothers like this. Like they're doing it, and I know them, right? So if I can sit here and name them, imagine they're out there. Yeah. So it's no excuse. But as y'all have said to me, y'all the niggas don't want to listen to y'all. They don't want to listen to another man. They don't want another man to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with Carmelo and Austin. And again, there's racial elements there, but it goes beyond that. It's the patriarchy. It's the toxic masculinity. It's the bullshit that these boys are being raised in, and we haven't stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
We did so much fighting and so much work, and then here comes goddamn social media and setting us back generations.
Yeah.
Dr. Hall, it was different.
It was
in the 90s. Dr. Hall, it was different in the 90s, even the early 2000s. It was not like this.
Yeah.
This shit here, we're in a completely different society right now.
Yeah. I have to wonder how much of it isn't particularly, one of the reasons that, Red Pill came up the way it did is because, once again, culture's flattening. You have so many young men who do not have access to community. And so the ways of transmission of cultural values means like masculinity becomes this sort of much more sacred thing. That's why it's so much more performative and so much more like sacred in a way. And so because there are so many issues in the Black community, it's like this LGBTQ thing becomes a linchpin that could be used by people in power to keep wedging between, so that we don't collectivize and so, because people feel so lost, they got to get more rigid in the performance of what they consider masculinity. And
then Black men are hyperbolic in the performance of it because they are overcompensating for being behind the starting line, right? Of masculinity, right? So if the white men said the manhood is here, the black men is starting back here, they got to do extra shit. And they got to kill women 3 times as often.
Yeah.
They got to sexually abuse girls more often. They have to have domestic violence rates they got to beat black women more than the white men do.
Right.
They got to do all these things extra.
Yeah. That pride, the stress of being once again behind.
And what the hell is going on with these teachers being popped? One last thing, Dr. Hall, because I have to just one more. Like
Go ahead.
This is like, I am so bothered by this shit. Hold on 1 second.
And there's so few black male teachers. So the idea.
Oh my gosh. Black male teachers make up less than 2% of teachers in the United States. So let's watch this. Hold on, let me put this on.
Try.
51-year-old Darius Lachey became emotional in court this morning after a judge sentenced him to 50 years in prison. In February, the former youth track coach was found guilty of molesting a 14-year-old girl on his team. Court documents state Lachey had sex with the teen twice in his car and once at his apartment, where she was spending the night because of an early morning track meet the next day. The victim's mother spoke with reporters after he was sentenced.
He still destroyed a lot of young girls' lives and a lot of family lives, including his own.
Another accuser, once coached by Lachey, also spoke in court.
At 15 years old, I had to face trauma that no child should ever have to experience.
The woman, who was 15 while on Lachey's track team, accused the coach of grooming her.
I watched my innocence being taken from me, not by a stranger, but by someone who was supposed to guide me, protect me, and help me grow. He took a young athlete's dream and turned it into a trap.
Dr. Hall. This is on the heels of, a slew of stories. But the one that stands out to me was the guy that killed himself after they caught him and all the evidence they had in the text messages. Brothers have been sexually violating children for centuries, right?
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to think that this is new.
No.
I've experienced it. Pretty much everyone I know has experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every Black woman I know has been molested, raped, groomed, something by a Black man significantly older.
Mm.
The majority of Black teens who get pregnant are by grown-ass men. This is a goddamn sickness. It is a plague. It is an epidemic. But now we're seeing more of it happening in the schools as we see the pressure and the efforts to increase the presence of Black male teachers. We're seeing an increase in these stories of them sexually violating children. So what do we do with that, Dr. Hall? Like, what do we do when our men, the supposed leaders, protectors, are now positioning themselves? Obviously it's not all. I know some great teachers.
Yeah.
I know people who have been in situations where they've dealt with teens, hormones raging. Of course, the teens are going to have crushes on their teachers and things like that, but you're the adult. You're supposed to draw that line. You're supposed to whatever. It don't matter how developed somebody is. It doesn't matter, whatever. And again, this is to the women too, because they be making the same fucking excuses about the kids.
Yeah.
This is like, why would you do that to our children? Why would you do that to anybody? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah. In a trusted profession.
In a trusted profession of coach and teacher. And I've been saying this for many years. Predators go where their prey are.
Yeah.
You send your kid to school every day, and there's a good chance that they've walked past somebody who is a predator, because that's where they go. The band leaders, the coaches, the teachers, the principals, the resource officers.
Yeah.
They find jobs where the kids are.
You go where they are.
Look at how many coaches have been busted. Remember that whole Olympic scandal? Simone Biles was a part of that.
Ex-NFL wife Simone Biles.
Right. Well, that's what she said she wants to be. So she said her primary identity is as his wife. So she really can't be mad that that's how she's being described. She doesn't want to be known as one of the greatest athletes in the history of the world. She wants to be known as his wife. So that's how they wrote about her. Carmelo got sentenced to 35 years. We knew they was going to do that. Now they're going to have to appeal it. They will. I don't know. They got to get new representation, and they got to appeal that. But he's got 35 years
in real prison.
In real prison. So there's something going on with men, Dr. Hall, which comes back to everything that I'm always talking about. People ask me, why do I talk so much about Black men? Because that's what I care about.
Yeah. You want better for them.
Respectfully, I expect white men to behave like savages. When they don't, I'm like, hey, that's great. I love it.
Yeah. But we want better for Black men.
A decent one, right? We want better for Black men. We want better for our community. We want brothers to not give in to this colonial patriarchal bullshit. We want y'all to not aspire to be white men so bad that you mimic him in his violent behaviors, because you know the only reason he has that power is because he is violent.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened over centuries, and from the continent on. They see that white men have the weapons and the money and the power, and they want to be just like them. And that's also going to be my deep dive. I think if I look at my calendar, guys, let me see if I have anything to do tomorrow evening. I don't believe that I do. And I think I will be coming back tomorrow evening, and I will be just doing my special segment. I sure don't. I'm going to be back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, guys. I'm going to do my deep dive on what's happening in Africa.
Yes.
I think it's really important. It's all tied into this.
Yes.
Aspirational whiteness is a major problem in our communities around the world. And it is harming women, it is harming children, it is harming queer people, it is harming trans people, it is harming non-binary people, it is harming poor people. Like,
it's harming white people.
It's harming white people, right?
That's the thing they never think about.
Can't get them to admit that. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Hall. I know it's late. I appreciate you being here. I think I'm going to handle the other segment by myself.
Yeah, no, I'm not available tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I know. I wasn't inviting you to come back.
But I couldn't do it even if you were.
Can you remember that this is my show?
Yeah.
Kind of. Still, I mean, you're a part of it.
I saw Dr. H. Kinda. I'll take it.
Kinda. I put kinda. I am trying.
Hey, I appreciate the effort. You tolerate a man for 2 hours every week.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what I have to do after this? I have to go. I have to take some cannabis.
Yeah. Cleanse yourself.
Shower.
In the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Yes.
I have to like slather things on me to protect my spirit from absorbing you.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I do this for the people.
For the people, you
because
tolerate.
they enjoy the banter.
They seem to enjoy the banter. They haven't kicked me off yet. I've come close.
And you've come close. They like that we're both smart.
Yeah.
I think that they like that we present these perspectives to help process. And I also think that the way that we talked about the Carmelo Anthony case today, I think it was important, at least for me, is because I know, and this is something that I'm really good at. The emotions get really high.
Yes.
And I'm really good at bringing people back down to center.
Yeah.
Like, let's breathe before
Let's
we
think
pop
through it.
off. Let's think through it.
Yeah.
The same way them two boys should have
thought
breathed and thought through it.
And step back from the situation. What are we fighting over, really?
One would still be alive. One would not be sentenced to prison for 35 years. They might have had some bruises, or maybe a broken nose or a rib.
2 families broken up.
But now 2 families completely ruined because they could not think through it.
Stop and think.
Walk away and not feel like they had to prove their masculinity to each other.
Culture of honor.
Which platform is best to view these for your metrics? Probably YouTube. Not many people watch on Facebook, although I got 10 likes from Facebook today. That's nice. But YouTube, I think, is best. Again, you know, I've been trying to monetize my YouTube for a really long time. But
yeah, algorithm, not your friend.
Well, that's the DBT guy.
I'm a DBT guy. DBT and motivational interviewing.
I was motivational interviewing person. I'm really good with the rolling with resistance.
Yeah, no, that's also my jam. Rolling with resistance.
That's why we talked. I'll talk to you about that later. That's hilarious. I was like, oh, some shit is clicking. We're both MI people. But anyway, goodbye, Dr. Hall. We'll see you next week. Guys, thank you so much. I know we had some technical difficulties earlier because the FBI and the CIA are always watching my show and they want to mess with it because I probably said hunky entirely too much. I appreciate you all coming and being here. I know that there's a lot going on. And I understand that we want to lament the terrible things that happen. Our emotions, we are triggered by these things. We think about people like Trayvon Martin and Rekia Boyd. Well, actually, I think about Rekia Boyd. Many of you have no idea who I'm talking about. But we think about these people whose lives have been lost in these tragic ways, families that have been destroyed through these kinds of things. And we want to see so-called justice. We want to see. There's no justice in the United States. I'm sorry. You guys know I feel that way. There's absolutely no justice to be had in the United States. The United States is fundamentally an unjust nation. The United States exists because of genocide and slavery. The United States exists because of genocide and slavery. The roots of the United States were buried in the soil that has been drenched in blood, sweat, and tears. There is no redemption for this country. And 250 years, a month from now, they'll be celebrating 250 years of this bastard nation, this failed social experiment that I happen to be teaching classes about the history of. We're going to sit with this, and they're going to pretend like everything has been great. We just watched the DOD reclassify religions and get rid of all these religions that are once acknowledged, long acknowledged as valid religions. They got rid of all of them, right? And you all think this is an attack on, religious freedom and things like that. No, it's not. It's so that you can't file discrimination suits being as with religion as a protected class. I need you all to think beyond the emotion. Oh my gosh, they're not recognizing me as this particular religion. Nobody gives a shit. All the religions are made up anyway. But the fact is that religion is a protected class. And it actually, if I'm somebody, besides from veterans, I think those are the only two protected classes where you have a choice to opt into this particular class, right? And so what they did was they got rid of all these ways that you could cite religious discrimination. Why? Because they want to fire Muslims. They want to be able to get rid of Muslims from their jobs. And you all are not seeing this because you don't want to. I need you to start seeing these things this way. I want you to start thinking about the money. I want you to start thinking about what's the point of all of this? If something sounds completely outrageous, then your first answer is probably wrong. I want you to dig deeper. I want you to think with more nuance. I want you to ask more questions. I want you to ask why until you can no longer answer why. That's being intellectually curious. That's being thoughtful. And that's being prepared for the collapse of this nation, which is imminent. And that's part of why we started this show, was to try to create this community where at least I can exchange these conversations with you all, try to get you to think and prepare, try to get you to connect with each other. Some of you come in here, you're used to seeing the same people, you follow each other on social media. We got the mutual aid stuff that goes on. We got all kinds of things. That's what I'm trying to create and build for you all. But I need you to be smart about it. This show has been on for 1.5 years. Have you purchased a gun yet? And I know that folks with the mental health issues say, can't do it. I get it. Get a machete, goddammit. Learn how to throw some knives. Stop playing. You have to look around and see what is happening. This is not a joke, y'all. And when this cultural war that they're hoping breaks out, when it does, climate change is right behind it. And I tell you all about climate change every single week now because you all are not paying enough attention to that. Dr. Hall is safe. He's in Ohio. Ohio's pretty decent. A lot of you are in places that are not safe for you or your children. Let's get serious. I love you all. You know that I love you with the love of liberation. I love you with the love of my ancestors, despite those of you who think that me venerating my ancestors is demonic. You know what's demonic? White people and Arabs forcing Christianity and Islam on your ancestors at the end of a gun and through human trafficking. That's demonic, at least in my opinion. I know y'all don't like when I say that shit, but I'm starting to see folks waking up. Everybody want to learn about hoodoo now. Everybody want to learn about Ifa now. Lukumi, Candomblé, Obeah. Y'all want to learn these things now, right? Because maybe those ancestors that we venerate are coming and lifting the veil. That could be happening. Maybe instead of saying that Erykah Badu was working a spell on people at the Roots picnic, you think perhaps the film Sinners started to lift the veil for you all. So you don't think about things that way, but I do. I love you all with the love of the ancestors, the actual people that we can document that were here, and who paved the way for us to be here, who fought with their lives for us to be here, who worked to preserve the culture you say that we don't have, who passed down the traditions that we can trace back thousands of years, if you would just crack open a book. I love you with the hope of tomorrow and the promise of tomorrow, that you will only get there if you open your minds. Love each other as human beings. You have to believe that we will win. I'm not sure what winning looks like at this point, but we have to believe that we will win. That's the only reason we get up every day. I believe that we will win. And I will see y'all tomorrow, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this deep dive. And I'm telling you, if you want to learn what is going on in Africa related to LGBTQ people, come in. I got a deep dive for you, and I want y'all to be there. See y'all.